medalist from last year. She had an absolutely outstanding performance after a hiatus from the X Games SuperPipe, and she came back like she never left to win the gold, but this time as a mom.
Those are two of our standouts. There's 6 other riders in the field. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but first, let's get to the third member of our team. It's James Woods.
Hello everybody, I'm here amongst this incredible crowd. Everybody is very ready to see the best lady free skiers put it down in this half pipe. The stage is set, it's a beautiful X Games night, the energy is palpable. Good luck everybody, we're very excited down here.
Taking a look at the start list right there. There's a total of 8 in the field out here tonight. Who else do you like on that start list there, Maggie?
Well, we gotta talk about Indra Brown. She is an X Games rookie at 15 years old, but this season has also been her first time on the World Cup circuit, where she already has earned 3 podiums, 1 being gold. Watch out for the rookies because they have nothing to lose, and she has proved this season she has what it takes.
Hey, you know, I also want to bring up, it's the return of Kelly Silderu. We haven't seen the Estonian here in competition at the X Games in quite some time, so happy to have her back up in the lineup as well.
So great to have Kelly back. She's definitely struggled with a couple back-to-back knee injuries, but she's back in the super pipe here at X Games, right where she belongs.
Well, you saw that daunting look up the pipe. This thing is an absolute monstrosity, and we take it up to the top here. You mentioned one of the X Games rookies. How about this? You're 15 years old. You come into your first X Games, and you have to start this party off underneath the lights on a packed house on a Friday night. Welcome to the X Games. It's Indra Brown.
Yes! Starting it off with the left 9 tail grab and mirroring that to the right side. We got the 720 to the left. Switch right, down the pipe. 5. All right, into the switch 360, what she's gonna finish it off here. Alley-oop 3. I mean, hey, X Games rookie, you land your first run.
Coming in as a rookie and then having to do this at 15 years old, what does that do to your brain when you're standing up there, you're looking down this pipe and you're looking at all these people?
Oh man, I mean, the excitement is real. My first X Games was at 15 years old, believe it or not, 12 years ago.
You've been in that spot
and
before.
I mean, gosh, I think for me, and I can only imagine for Indra, it's just like a dream come true to be here at the X Games. You have nothing to lose. It's all excitement. You just want to showcase your best skiing.
Not only your first X Games, she just made her World Cup debut last month at the World Cup in Secret Garden, where she finished 3rd place. So she's going to start it off with an 80 flat, the best possible run score you can get here. Monster Energy Women's Ski SuperPipe is 100. So welcome to the X Games, Indra Brown. We move on to Basalt, Colorado's Hannah Fallhaber.
Yeah, Hannah coming in. She's had a struggle the last few years with some knee injuries that she's been open about, but just happy to see her in this super pipe where she belongs, starting us off with that big styly air of hers. Into the left 540 with her massive flare. We got the 720, reaching down there for the mute grab. Switch right 3. And then finishing it off with the flare, showing us that she can do it both ways. Yeah, Hannah.
Taking a look at the height meter there, her highest hit was a little over 7.5 feet on average, just under 7 feet. She missed Aspen 2024 with an injury, and then she injured her left knee in the first run here last year and had to settle for 8th place.
Yeah, like I kind of mentioned that earlier in her run. You know, I think she's definitely just been battling pain, and I will tell you right now, skiing in pain is so tough, not just physically, but also mentally. So for Hannah to just come down here, put it down, prove, not prove, she deserves to be here in this pipe. So it's just good to see her back.
She does have a super pipe bronze from 2022 here in Aspen, so look to see more out of her in run number 2. Kelly Silderu from Estonia coming your way next. She happens to have 10 total X Games medals to her name, 4 of those being slope style gold. She's got 3 total big air medals, and here in super pipe she owns a total of 3, 2 gold and 1 silver, and we haven't seen her in competition here since 2022.
I mean, you're right, we haven't seen Kelly in a long time, but she is no stranger to this half pipe. And I mean, let's talk about it. She has 10 X Games medals. Yes, she's been away from the field for a while, but she knows how to perform under pressure. She's a veteran by this point. I mean, and a veteran at 23 years old, to say the least.
Hey, by the way, that 2022 appearance, she walked away with gold. Just saying.
Just saying. Starting us off here with the right 540. mirroring that to the left. All right, 720. We got the switch 5 into the switch 360. Into the alley-oop. And then mirroring that. Yes, yeah, Kelly, look at the stoke. I mean, once again, just to come back, land your first run after a few years of knee injuries, that's got to feel really good. I mean, one thing I want to talk about here and what the judges are really going to look at is amplitude. They really, really, really love amplitude in this half pipe. And there also, of course, is the variety of tricks, grabs, spinning in multiple directions, execution, difficulty, and then the overall flow of the run. But I think you're going to hear us talk about it a lot, just the amplitude of what these women are going to give us tonight.
Well, to your point, let's talk about that. With the snow conditions right now, it's a little bit of a struggle right here trying to maintain the speed. Kelly's going to check in with a 73. It's going to slide her into that number 2 spot right now. But that's kind of been the name of the game thus far, is trying to maintain that speed and maintain that height. Taking a look at our women's ski SuperPipe format here. 8 athletes in the field, as we talked about at the top of the show. They are going to get 3 runs apiece, and it is the best run that counts. And as I mentioned at the top, it is a 100-point scale.
Oh, yeah, look at Svea. That
social media.
That's an incredible shot.
It's a heck of a backdrop on that one right there. Aspen 2026, this will be Svea's 5th X Games appearance. She owns a SuperPipe bronze from here in 2023.
Dropping in for us. Big alley-oop, flat 5, and not able to hold on. It looks like she landed a little bit low in the half pipe, which sometimes makes it really hard to catch that last bit of transition. But they've got 3 runs out here.
Well, let me ask you this, playing the strategy game here, like when the conditions are like this, visibility's not bad, but the snow definitely does cause a little bit of issues with the speed. What do? Do you take a safety run the first go around, or do you try to roll the dice and just put something down at the first run? What would you do?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like in the past, at least from my experience, sometimes I put down a safety run, and then I try to one-up one thing, maybe a couple things. I don't know, I feel like that's a really safe approach to take.
Building blocks, if you will.
Blocks, but I don't know, it's the X Games. Sometimes come out and give it all you have.
We turn our attention to a Canadian. This is Rachel Carker from Ontario. She happens to own 4 total X Games to her name, 2 silver, 2 bronze, and all 4 of those medals came here in SuperPipe. She's landed on the podium at 6 out of 6 events in 2023 X Games World Championships and 4 World Cups.
Right 9 with that amplitude that I'm talking about that the judges love to see.
9 feet, 1 inch,
back
to
to back 9s with a big flare. Yeah, and just trying to keep that amplitude down the pipe. There's the 7. Switch alley-oop.
So outside of that last hit, I can't wait to see the average there. The highest was just under 10.5, and the average was over 8 feet. So great job on the height and the amplitude there for Rachel Carker.
Absolutely. And here is that replay on one of her 900s, showing the judges that she can do that both directions, which once again, when I talk about it, the variety of tricks, spinning all 4 ways, that's what the judges want to see, especially in those bigger rotations.
Her last medal came in 2023. It was a silver here. What's the score going to be? Our rookie still sitting in that top spot with an 80 who started us off. If you're just joining us here at X Games Aspen 2026, this is run 1 out of 3 here for Monster Energy Women's Ski SuperPipe. Taking a while for this score to come in.
75.
There it is, 75.33. So that'll slide her into that number 2 spot right now. So that 80 holding on for right now, but taking a look at some of our top stories here. We talked about at the top, Indra Brown, youngest athlete at 15 years old, Cassie Sharp hoping to defend that gold, and of course, Zoe Atkin, who we talked about at the top of the show there.
Oh yeah, nope. We've got a stacked field of athletes, and who do we have drop? It's Zoe. Like we mentioned, she is hungry. I mean, look at that determination in her face. But also, I heard earlier in the athlete lounge right before this, she was feeling bubbly, she was feeling good. You know, not that she wasn't taking it seriously, but you know when an athlete's kind of in that flow state, they're ready to go.
Yeah, so kind of take that pressure off as she's in for her first of 3 with a big hit.
And that is the amplitude we are looking for.
14 and a half almost.
7 into the switch, 7. All right, right side 540. Alley-oop. With the switch right 7. Wow, that was a great first run.
Obviously, you want to start big and you want to finish big, but look at that, the highest right out of the gate at 14 feet 4 inches. By the way, she's not just talented on skis, she's smart as well. She's a junior at Stanford University, majoring in symbolic systems, which is basically an interdisciplinary program combining psychology, philosophy, linguistics, and computer science.
That's over my head.
It's a lot.
Here we go with the replay on that 720, reaching back for the tail grab. I mean, another thing that the judges really love about Zoe is her amplitude, spinning in all 4 directions, but she's also very consistent with her grabs. And that is a big, big thing that the judges also are looking at.
So what is it going to be? And we're into the 90s, Maggie. A 91 for Zoe.
That is how you start it off.
I mean, this is just the first round. You talked about pressure and not really feeling it and just kind of being in that zone. Well, that run was exemplary of that. If you're posting up a 91 your first go, when it's coming down with the snow and speed appears to be a little bit of an issue, Zoe Atkin setting the bar here in round 1. This is Canada's Amy Fraser. She walked out of here in 2025 with a bronze medal here in SuperPipe. She got a bronze in 2024 as well, so that's back-to-back bronze medal performances. Looking to pick up where she left off the last 2 years. Maybe trade that one in for a shinier one, Maggie. What do you think?
Amy has what it takes. She's one of the only girls in the field tonight to drop in switch. Starting off with a switch down the pipe. 7 into the flare with the tail. Showing the judges she can do that on both walls, both ways. Left side 900. Right side 900. Yes, Amy, great run. I mean, these girls are absolutely throwing down.
It looked like she maybe had lost a little bit of speed there in the middle of that, but she fought back through that at the end. Like I said earlier, you want to finish big.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not about amplitude on the first few hits. It's about amplitude and the consistency throughout all of your tricks down the entire half pipe. That's the flare for us. Do you remember last year Amy had an impressive, I don't remember which run it was, but it was in finals, and she just had a little bit of the pipe left and came into the skirting.
Oh yeah, just full send in here and took out almost a whole chunk of the snow fence.
She shocked herself with that landing. That was an exciting moment.
All right, what's this going to be? You need better than a 75.33 if you're going to jump into the medals as of right now. That's Rachel Carker sitting on that bronze medal spot. Our rookie's still hanging tough at 83.33. So Amy's going to put herself into silver medal contention here in round 1. That'll put our X Games rookie in that bronze medal spot. Indra Brown, 15 years young and hanging on to the medals here in the opening round. I love it.
Oh, look at that moment. Cassie, like I mentioned, she came back into the half pipe last year as a mom, and she had her little girl down there with her. It was a really fun and just exciting and emotional moment for her to like win a gold again after being away from the pipe. But
and your 3rd gold at that. So that was 6 total medals for her. She only owns a silver and 2 bronze, but that was her 3rd gold. Your defending gold medalist is in. It's Cassie Sharp.
All right, Cassie. Yep, there's that amplitude on that left 900. No way, okay, giving us a 1080, a right 1080 into that switch 360. Right side 9. Backed both 1080s. Oh my goodness, yeah, I can't look at that. She's like, I put that down.
I have questions.
Okay,
that first hit, it looked like she landed a little deep into the transition right there, and she was fighting for speed on that second hit. I'll have to see the replay.
Wow, 2 1080s in a half pipe run.
Yeah, she got a little deep in the transition, but she fought through that.
Yep, held on strong, committed to this run that she wanted. I mean, one thing that I love too, not only did that up her run from last year, but she threw it out on the first run. She wants it. That's how you know. We were talking about that strategy earlier, and look at the excitement.
That reaction says it all right. I mean, she was fighting through that, to land low on your first hit and be struggling with speed, that can throw off the entirety of your run.
Yep.
And she just refused to concede it. She's not even feeling it, right? She's like, whatever, I'm out there having a great old time. 85.66, so that'll put your defending gold medalist in a silver medal position as of right now. So after round one, it's Atkin, Sharp, and Fraser, your 1, 2, 3. I gotta give Indra Brown a shout out. You start this off at 15 years young, and then you find yourself in a medal spot early on and hanging on to the very last run of round one. Oh my goodness.
The excitement is real, and this snow right now is not stopping the woman from absolutely throwing down. We were a little concerned earlier that maybe it was going to slow things down in the half pipe and we were going to lose a bit of that amplitude, but I talked to some of the women and they talked about, I don't know, the pipe was running almost too fast.
Well, you can see there the conditions as the snow continues to fall. Round one of the books. We're getting ready to start round two. If you're looking at the bottom of the screen there, we have a new sponsor this year in Stake. Those are the odds right now. Those are the winner odds. So those numbers that you see, if you bet $1, that's what you would win.
Oh.
I wasn't told there'd be math tonight, but there you go.
Did you see I was totally thrown off by that?
In some ways, you could say that's what is at stake tonight.
No one asked me to do math besides call tricks.
I got
guess
you.
That's math, though.
I will carry you through with the numbers. Here we go with our 15-year-old rookie, Indra Brown, in run two, going massive.
Back-to-back 9s. That first one with the tail grab, so styly, giving us a 720. Switch right down the pipe, 5. Switch left, 7. Alley-oop!
Okay, so height-wise, she definitely went bigger than that first run, and I think overall her average was better than that first run. She's just outside of the top 3. She's in that 4th spot. What a night for a 15-year-old in your first ever X Games.
I mean, once again, she already has 3 World Cup podiums under her belt going into this. There's no way, I mean, she's got the confidence. You got to step into this pipe being like, I have what it takes. I've competed against these ladies before this season. And she's showing, she does. Starting off with that 9 with the tail, and then mirroring that to the right side, showing that she can do both right and left 9s. So impressive.
Oh, by the way, she's also qualified for the Olympics, so she's got a lot on her plate for being 15 here coming into 2026.
My goodness.
Oh, she jumps back up from 4th into silver. Right, contention, silver contention. This is just round 2. An 88.33. How does that feel when you're that young and you come into this for the first time? We've seen people before kind of get intimidated by the lights and just the enormity of it all.
Totally.
But she was in the top 3, bumped to 4th. Now she's back in the 2nd place position.
I don't know. I was telling you earlier, it's that rookie energy. You got nothing to lose. You watch out for those rookies, especially here at the X Games.
Oh my goodness. Indra Brown putting her stamp here in Monster Energy Women's Ski SuperPipe. 2nd attempt here for Basalt. Hannah Fallhaber.
Big air with the tail grab. 540 to the left. Flare on that right side wall. 720 reaching down for the mute grab. Switch 360, right side. And then mirroring another flare to the left. Yeah, Hannah. So the one thing I think,
I was just about to ask.
I think amplitude is going to be the biggest thing. And if we're going to compare it to Indra, Indra's doing back-to-back 9s, where Hannah's only doing back-to-back 5s. You know, so those are comparisons. Like I said, we're looking at that amplitude, but also the difficulty of tricks. But that definitely felt like an improvement from Hannah's first run.
She had that 70 flat the first go around, so she'll get an improvement of 1 point, but it's not going to improve the placing, so she will stay in 7th. The key thing to remember, it's 3 rounds. This is round 2. It is your best run that counts, so it's not over until it's over.
Oh no, it's not. We know that all too well here at the X Games.
Yes, we do. Kelly Silderoo making her return to the X Games after hiatus. She sits down in that number 6 position as of right now with a 73 flat.
Here comes Kelly.
Nope, not her.
Is that right? 540 with the mute grab. Left 5 with the tail, showing us the variety in grabs there. The 7. Switch 3. Oh, she's just
the speed.
Kelly, you can tell she lost her amplitude on that. Yeah, definitely throwing that one away just compared to her first run and knowing that it just wasn't quite what she wanted.
Yeah, you can just see that speed was just gone. Like she was right at the lip of the pipe there.
Yeah.
You could see the frustration in her face.
Just lost it. And I mean, that's one of the things. Kelly has some of the most standout grabs out of this entire field, and I think that what complements that is her slope style riding. But once again, we're matching it up with 900s, 1080s. Kelly's biggest spin has been a 7 and 2 that amplitude.
We mentioned she's a 10-time X Games medalist. She earned all 10 of those as a teenager. She was only 13 years, 11 months old when she earned her first medal, which was gold back in 2016.
Oh, I remember that.
Some of her stats.
I remember the day Kelly started competing at the X Games, and us veterans were like, the tide is changing. Kelly Silderu has entered.
We turn our attention now to Winter Park, Colorado. Svea Irving.
My favorite.
Look at the bump up from that
flat 5, and she had trouble holding on to that. No problem this time. Getting the 900 around to the left side. Right 720. Switch 360. Right side 540. What's she gonna finish it off here?
One more hit to go.
Oh, but the left side 540. There we go. All right.
Well,
that's an improvement.
Yep, that 10's definitely going to be going away. The question is how much? You need an 85.66 or better if you're jumping in to the top 3. You got Cassie Sharp, your defending gold medalist, sitting on that bronze spot as of now. We take a look at some highlights from Svea's second outing.
Oh, that alley-oop flat 5. Absolutely love it. Going into that left 9. There it is. Reaching down right at the end of her rotation, looking for that safety grab. And then finishing it off here with the Steezy 540, safety to Japan. Not much pipe left, showing us that Svea Irving style.
All right, now we play the numbers game, or the waiting game. The 10's going away. How much is it going to be? SuperPipe bronze medal from 2023.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, good thing we're not the judges.
That's a tough spot to be in.
Tough spot.
It's a little cool. I mean, they're inside and they're shielded from the elements, but that's a rough seat to be in.
Absolutely.
Svea's going to get in a 79.33. She was an 8th. That'll bump her up to 5th. So it's still Zoe Atkin in that top spot. Our rookie, Indra Brown, now sitting in silver, and your defending gold medalist, Cassie Sharp, sitting in bronze medal position. Rachel Carker, run 2 out of 3. She had a 75.33. Got her in 6th.
And she can only improve. I think putting down that first run and then knowing that only from here, all right, let's up it, let's get those grabs, let's get the amplitude up.
That's what we said earlier. Get through one, assess the conditions, and then building blocks.
And building
Add
blocks.
to it.
There's the big right 900. Mirroring that to the left with the Japan on both of those. Flare. Left side 720, getting tongue twisted here. Switch alley-oop to finish it off. I mean, once again, we have to talk about it. It's the amplitude, and you can tell Rachel there, great run, but just kind of losing a little bit on the last few hits. All right, yep, showing us that 9.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 9s. Those, though, I love the amplitude on those 2 hits.
That's not a camera person on the deck. That's a drone shot that you just saw. Both of those. The drone shots are epic.
Racer drones.
It's amazing how close that they're able to get to the athletes and get these epic shots. But most people are watching probably like, oh, there's a person on the deck. Nope.
Nope, not at all. A person just controlling that little thing.
Just to give you the appreciation and the height and what goes into these rotations. That'll bump her up to
all right.
81. However, it's only going to change the position by 1. She was in 6th pre-run. That only moves her up to 5 or 5th. And 3 skiers left to go here. Round 2 out of 3. Monster Energy Women's Ski SuperPipe. Taking a look at Zoe Atkin here, your current leader, with a score of 91 flat from round number 1.
Oh, I love this hit so much. I could watch it all day long.
14.9. That was the highest hit of the comp.
Oh my goodness, Zoe.
She went 14.4 in run 1.
All right, 540. Alley-oop. Coming in switch. Switch down the pipe right 7. Oh, okay, I had a moment there. You saw, I kind of stuttered. we remember last year she talked about maybe adding a switch 9 to her run. So I kind of just had a little preemptive moment of like, are we going to see it? But I mean, right now, she's leading with the top spot.
Look at that.
Oh, it never will get old. And that mute grab, a good old classic mute, into this right side 720. And then finishing things off with this switch down the pipe 7.
It's a wonderful shot. Look at all those people in the corral. You're seeing the Silver Lounge at the base of the pipe in the background. It is a party here under the lights at Aspen Snowmass on Friday night. And look at her, hands up like, yep, I'm feeling it.
You think it's going to be an improvement?
It is a 93.33.
Wow.
She was already in the lead and said, why not pad it just a little bit more, Maggie?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the best feeling. You have the top score, but then you beat your top score. I mean, at that point, you're competing with yourself. And gosh, that's got to feel so good. All of these women are going to be headed to the Olympics soon, too. And I mean, this is just like cherry on top to be here at X Games throwing down some incredible runs. It's great momentum headed into the Olympics.
So now, as we get to the latter part of run 2, Amy Fraser was into the top 3. She now finds herself on the outside looking in, sitting in 4th with an 83.33 from that first run.
All right. Starting it off switch with the right, or switch 7 with the flare. Mirroring that on the other wall. Yes, big 900, keeping up her amplitude. With the right 9, oh, and just not holding on. Landing just a little deep in the pipe. I mean, there's not much transition to hold on to it.
That's all right. She's still getting that 83.33 from the first go around.
Yep.
With one more chance still to come as we take a look back to that second attempt.
But sitting on that bubble spot in 4th place, I mean, pressure's on.
That's a rough spot to be in.
It's a rough spot, and here you can see it just, oh, maybe like a slight under rotation there, and just not quite able to hold on, but she knows how to perform under pressure. She's got this.
Be especially frustrating at the end of the run.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
your
really?
last hit?
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
like,
worst.
after all of that and this happens?
Yeah, no, I can tell you right now, it is not a great feeling.
That's why I'm a fan of the best run format.
Yeah.
When these things happen, you're like, you know what? Just short-term memory loss and get back up to the top and do it all over again. She's a 3-time gold medalist, including winning gold here last year. Canada's Cassie Sharp in for her second attempt.
Oh, had such an exciting run with both way 1080, starting off with that left side 9. There it is, the right side 1080. Switch 360. Right side 9. Is this where we're gonna see the 10? Left side 10. What she got here on the bottom. Switch alley-oop, putting it down. Man, so mirroring her 2 run, or both of those runs from her first run, but I'm no judge, but I want to say that's a bit of an improvement. It just felt a little bit cleaner to me. She's feeling it.
You're calling that better than the 85.66?
I don't know. I always say that. I sometimes regret it because I'm not a judge. But I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. Actually, I got to be more confident in that. I felt like it was definitely a step up. Same tricks, but just felt smoother overall. We'll see what the judges have to say.
I like it. Walk that plank, put it out there. That's why you're in the analyst chair.
You're right, you're right. Switch alley-oop.
I mean,
yes, you could tell the second she landed, she just had a little head nod like, yep.
You were right, it's a point better. 86.66 again, not going to improve the placing. She'll stay in 3rd right now. However, after 2 rounds, with 1 round left to go and the snow continuing to fall, everybody, the name of the game seems to be maintaining your speed. And as of right now, it is Zoe Atkin with 2 dominant runs sitting into the 90s. Can she hang on and claim gold? We'll find out when we return to X Games Aspen 2026.
We're going to cut the lights in this place, and we're going to have the spectators do the light show. So get the QR code right now. We'll give you time. I got it. I got kids, so I don't mind repeating things. I know all the time. So once again, grab your phones. Let's see if your phone
Yeah, try to get like a nice, tight, snowy situation.
Yes, okay. Everybody, scan that QR code. We're literally going to shut the lights down in this place. And I'm going to turn this party up. Ziggy, you can do it. If you know, oh, come on. Get your phone out. I'm thinking out of here. Yeah, all right, I got you. Well, then it'd be like the releasing of your job. Get your phone. Yeah.
You guys let you know for all the friends and family. Before the run ends, then you share and stuff. So you're on that. He knows all the time. And Zoe is.
Right there, you're going to and then Brendan McKay. Yeah, and then I just saw like.
Welcome back, everyone, to an epic night. This is only the first day of 3 of competition here at X Games Aspen 2026, driven by Jeep. Our version of Friday Night Lights, X Games style. Look at this packed house out here. Oh, this is where things get crazy. Jimmy Colvin here in the booth alongside Maggie Boyson. Look at the drone shot here, running up the pipe here. This is Monster Energy, Women's Skis SuperPipe. We're into the 3rd and final round here. It is all on the line. The format here tonight, it is the best run that counts, so it is still up for grabs. But right now, it is Zoe Atkin with 2 dominant performances thus far, 2 scores in the 90s to put herself in the driver's seat.
And the only scores in the 90s put down by Zoe. She put down a flawless first run, giving her a 91, and then just upped it with a 93.33.
Let's check in with James Woods one more time before we start round 3.
Well, everything is exciting here. You see in Zoe Atkin categorically diagnosed with that X Games fever. She is going wildly big on those first couple hits. Incredible tricks, but she is certainly contagious right now. You watching Indra Brown, a 15-year-old, the difference in amplitude between her first run and second was out of this world. But Cassie Sharp, she's got the tricks, those back-to-back 1080s. If she can clean up those landings and keep that altitude high, she is dangerous right now. This final's going off, and I'm excited to be here.
You are absolutely right to echo your point, Woodsy. That first hit, she had the highest hit at 14 feet 4 inches, and then in run 2, she went 14 feet 9 inches. So she's got the 2 highest tricks of the comp thus far. But there is your start list, or excuse me, start list.
Start list for run 3.
They re-racking that all the way? That one threw me off. I guess they're re-racking everybody for run 3 here.
Yeah, and I think what they're doing, Zoe is first, but they want it like, you know, there's that excitement of having a victory lap, but it's X Games. We want to keep it exciting, so we want the tension to be high. So Zoe's not going to get that victory lap. She's going to go second, and then pressure's going to be on Indra Brown to put it down to potentially still win that gold.
I thought if the person last in the start order was gonna get a victory lap, they would re-rack those bottom 2, but they just said, you know what, we're gonna re-rack everybody this go
right?
around. So
throwing us a curveball as well.
My bad for stumbling on that, because that one came out of left field for me as well.
We're learning along the way. I mean, that's one of the fun things about X Games. They're always changing things up, trying to keep it exciting. We're just along for the ride.
Let it go. They're just trying to keep us on our toes on day 1 of 3, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to start it off with Hannah Fallhaber. I was about to start talking about Indra and the rookie, but we're going to start talking about Hannah Fallhaber here. SuperPipe bronze in 2022, and that was her rookie year here at X Games Aspen. Graduated from Basalt High School just down the road in 2022. Was born at Aspen Valley Hospital in 2004. By the way, her mom, Belinda, is a nurse there.
Is that right?
Some stats on Hannah. So she starts us off.
Yeah, Hannah dropping in with her stylish signature big air. Got the left side 540. Right into that flare on the left wall. Left 7. Switch 360. Flare on the other side of the wall. Ooh, going deep. Yeah, Hannah putting down 3 runs tonight. Once again, Hannah has struggled with a few knee injuries. She just posted on Instagram about it and just talking about skiing in pain, getting over the mental side of things. I mean, this is an extreme sport. Yes, these are the best of the best, but they still, you know, we're still battling always. But Hannah proving, you know, she's pushing through, proving she deserves to be here.
She had that 71 flat was her best thus far. She had a 70, then she improved in run 2 to a 71. I mean, that shot right there, that just tells you how much snow continues to fall.
Yeah, look at that.
It looks like it's coming down more than it was when we started this comp, when we came on air.
It absolutely is, and I was thinking about that a bit. I'm like, are we gonna see amplitude change on the last run? I'm gonna go with no.
So she improves a little bit on the score, but not on the placing, so she's gonna stay at 8th, but glad to see Hannah Fallhaber back in the lineup here at X Games. So I'm being told that Kelly Silderu is not going to take her 3rd and final run.
Okay.
So now we are going to move on to Svea Irving, who currently sits in that number 6 spot. She's got a 79.33 as her best thus far. This is the 3rd and final run if you're just joining us here. Best run that counts. So the medals are still very much up for grabs. Packed house here in the corral tonight at Aspen Snowmass. Svea Irving in, 3rd and final attempt.
Dropping in. Is she gonna start us off with that alley-oop flat 5 that I love so much? Yes, and she goes massive, hanging on landing in the bottom of the transition. Right into that 900. There's the right 7. Into the switch 3. Oh!
She's gonna get one more. She is. She's gonna get one more right at the end of the run.
Giving us a 540 to the left.
Her highest on that run, 11 foot 8 inches. Average was 7 foot 11.
Oh.
Again, I feel like one of those first hits went a little deep into the landing and was just fighting for every ounce of speed she had.
Held on, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
But then still being like, nope, I'm committed to this 9.
Well, how high she
left
been on
side
that
9.
next wall?
Yeah.
It's like, how did you muster the speed for that?
I mean, sometimes it's all about how you ski through the flat bottom. Can you hold down on your flat bases and keep that speed up, pumping, using your legs to keep that momentum?
No, that is not going to be an improvement, so she's going to stick with that 79.33. Leave her in 6th.
Teammates there, U.S. free ski teammates.
So now, that's going to bring up Rachel Carter and then Amy Frazier. Those two are on the outside looking in on that podium. Rachel currently sitting in that 5th place spot right now with an 85. You've got, it's 86.66. That's Cassie Sharp holding on to the bronze right now. So you need 86.67 or better if you're cracking into the medals. And you can see Rachel here just getting in that zone, going through the motions.
Dialed in.
Here we go, Rachel Carter, 3rd and final attempt here, Monster Energy Women's Ski SuperPipe.
That big right side 900 Japan, and mirroring the same one to the left. Big flare reaching down for that safety grab near the boot.
Grab in.
The cork 7 to the left. Ooh, switch alley-oop 540.
Oh, just gets spun at the end.
Rotating, yeah. I didn't know if she was going for 7 there.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
We're just at the end of the run when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, just when you're clean throughout everything else. But that's the name of the game sometimes. I mean, it's all about consistency, and it's not easy. Kudos to these ladies. Yeah, here's that. It kind of looks like she might have just preset that 5 just a little too much, which then kind of made her wash and go a little bit over that rotation.
She had that 81.
Yeah.
Was her best thus far, that number 5 position.
I mean, I think we just know with that last hit, you've got to be consistent throughout the entire run. Unfortunately, that's not going to improve.
Yeah, they're looking for a solid run, top to bottom. So when you have, I mean, it's unfortunate, but when they have those things happen, and then it's the little things.
It is.
Those guys are looking at the minutia in the booth. So now there's only one skier standing between our podium contenders as of right now.
Mix it up.
And it's the Canadian Amy Frazier. She's on the outside looking in. Can she jump into the medals in her last attempt?
Amy. Wow, beautiful switch 7 with Japan. Flare. Mirroring that on the other wall. There's that 900 to the left, reaching back for the tail. And then the right side 9. That was a great run, but man, I mean, I'm not a judge. I'm just saying with Cassie's doing 2 1080s, right and left. But dang, Amy, that was such a great run. Last year on that first hit, we saw her doing switch 9s, but I don't know if speed or anything, if she wasn't able to do that trick again, or just, you know, a combination of mixing up her run. Nonetheless, love seeing this. That was a really solid run. Her grabs were really defined, some of the best that I've seen Amy do. So if I can highlight some of the really positive notes, that was still an incredible run.
I like your glasses half full approach.
Always.
It's appreciated.
It's hard to do all these things, all these big spins, the amplitude.
She does improve the score, but not the placing, so she's going to have to settle for 4th. That means we know that Zoe Atkin, Indra Brown, and Cassie Sharp are getting medals. The question is, what order are they going to finish? But hey, Indra Brown, by the way, our 15-year-old rookie that had to start this competition off. She was in the medals for most of round 1. She jumps back in round 2 to jump into that silver spot, and that is held up thus far. Here comes Cassie Sharp, your defending gold medalist for her last attempt.
Nothing to lose, you're on the podium, just throw it down. All right, there's that 1080 to the right, switch 360. Right side 9. Here's that 1080 to the left, stopped. What's it gonna be down here? And that alley-oop. Man, I mean, she nailed that run 3 times in a row. I'm not talking about score, but let's talk about the consistency of that. And putting 2 10s together in a run, that is progression in the women's SuperPipe.
The grab.
Pumping that transition, you can see, to keep up the amplitude. And there's that right side 10. And then finishing it off here with the switch to switch.
You need an 88.34 to overtake silver. It's a 93.34 to put yourself in the top spot. She's gonna get an 87, so that will improve the score, but she is going to stay in that bronze medal, so she is gonna add another to her trophy case. That'll be her 3rd bronze. She owns 3 gold, a silver, and now her 3rd bronze. And now it just comes down to the battle between one of our veterans and our brand new 15-year-old rookie.
Well, like we mentioned, in the past, it would usually be if you are first, you're gonna drop first, so you could potentially have a victory lap, but not this year. We want the excitement to be high.
Now, so that being said, Zoe's gonna have to go second to last year. Look at the massive height!
What do you think that was? That had to be the biggest.
16. I was gonna call it 15 and a half, but it was 16.
Oh, wow, Zoe.
It's a little dangerous going that high this close to an
Oh
airport.
my goodness. There is that alley-oop. That is a big improvement.
And just when you thought we kind of capped out on the height,
with the switch.
with more snow falling than we had earlier, she just says, you know what, hold my monster, I'm going 16 feet.
I was like, couldn't even call the tricks, because this whole time I'm just like, oh my goodness, but that, once again, I'm no judge, but I think that was an improvement.
It's day 1 and we're already going crazy.
Look at that amplitude. Was it 16 feet? 16 feet.
It was 16 feet, that's what the graphic said.
No other woman in this field has amplitude like Zoe. And that first hit is unbelievably impressive. Wow. Gosh. And finishing it up with the switch 7. Yeah, Zoe. I mean, once again, I'm no judge, but I'm just like, to me, that's got to be higher. I don't know.
We're about to find out. Remember, she had a, no, it was, how about that? All 3 runs were in the 90s. She had a 91, a 93.33, and now a 94.66.
And every run just one-upping herself.
Goodness.
I mean, right now, Indra's gonna put it down, but I mean, I gotta say it. She's just been competing against herself tonight,
I
Zoe.
hope her professors at Stanford are watching tonight.
You better give it a little extra credit.
Okay, last competitor, and it's a 15-year-old rookie who's gonna go home with a medal. The question is, what color will it be? It's Indra Brown.
Guys, the left 9, mirroring that to the right side. 720 to the left. Switch down the right. Switch down the pipe by 40. Switch 7. Oh, with the big alley-oop to finish it off. Oh, yes, the rookie.
What a night for her. She's the youngest athlete at X Games Aspen this year.
Is she really?
Yes. And she's now also the youngest women's ski superpipe medalist at 15 years old.
My goodness. Indra, welcome to the X Games. She's got a long career ahead of her. This is incredible. Yep, mirroring those back-to-back 900s. Finishing off with the alley-oop here at the bottom. And just look at the stoke. Like, she's like, I did it. I did it my first X Games.
Not that you did it, but you have to start the contest after all of this and the intros and the lights and all the bravado that goes behind this, and then you have to start the comp and set the bar. Like I said earlier, I've been harping on this the whole comp. She was in the medals for most of that first round. Then she fought back to get into silver. She's into the 90s.
Wow! 2 scores in the 90s. Cassie with an 87. I mean, that is awesome. Oh my God.
Your first ever X Games at 15, you get a medal and you get a score in the 90s.
You can't see it, but I have the biggest smile on my face. I'm so excited for these women pushing the sport tonight with tough conditions. I mean, sometimes with the snow, but showing us, no, they're the best.
That's another huge part of the story. It's like, especially with the rookies coming in with the snow conditions, and it got worse as time went on in this comp, and just slowing down everybody's speed. But wow, what a finish! Seconds to last year. Look at the massive.
I mean, what? 60 feet? Do people understand how big that is? These pipe walls are 22 feet.
She just went full send.
Oh my goodness.
Last
There's
run.
that alley-oop. Wow, Zoe.
But again, you can see that continuity of the height and that intensity throughout the entirety of the run.
Yeah, just the way that she skis through the flat bottom. Like, she's aggressive, she keeps up that amplitude. She doesn't necessarily have the biggest rotation, but man, everything else.
What a great night. Let's throw it down to James Woods with our winner.
Zoe Atkin, that was incredible skiing. Just tell us how did you manage to improve upon that first run after run, please?
Wow, I mean, it was definitely really tough conditions, obviously really slow with the snow, so I was just trying to go as fast as possible, starting all the way from the top and skating in and trying to carry my speed, and yeah, I was really stoked to be able to up it on that third run, and yeah, just keep building off the first one.
What do you mean slow? You went so big. That was really incredible. I mean, obviously no problem with the conditions. Like, was this snow any factor in your mind?
Totally, I mean, it's definitely quite slow. I mean, usually this pipe is super fast, so you definitely just gotta stay adaptable and make sure that you're, doing the right things, like being on your edges and stuff. And to be able to come back here and win my second X Games gold, it means so much to me, and I'm so happy and stoked.
Zoe, that was absolutely top quality, really professional stuff. Put it there. I'm so proud of you. So is this incredible crowd. You earned that gold medal. Big ups to you, Zoe Atkin.
Yes, Zoe, absolutely incredible. Deserving the gold. Wow, and just one-upping it run after run.
There was no slowing down at all.
No, speed was not an
Start
issue.
in the 90s, I'll keep going, I'll boost it every time. Oh, and by the way, on my last run, I'm gonna go 16 feet. So take that. Man, what a night of competition here. We thought it was gonna be a little crazy with the snow, but it was definitely crazy, but in a completely different way. When it's all said and done, Cassie Sharp, your defending gold medalist, takes home bronze, her 7th medal. Indra Brown, the rookie, coming in with a silver. And it's Zoe Atkin taking home her 3rd total X Games medal, but her 2nd gold here in Monster Energy Women's Ski Superpipe.